Jules, we're not done because we got more quick hits.
Yes.
Spain destroys Serbia 3-0. Jules, the European champions, dominated this one.
Yeah.
And Arsenal fans will feel good about Mikel Merino making his first start since the Euros.
Yeah, he came on in the previous game against the Danes. He came on for Arsenal as well in the Champions League against
This is
PSG.
his
for
first
example.
start.
But first start, and he looked good. It might be a little bit insulting to call it a B Spain team, but it was a little bit of
Diana
a
thanks
B.
you.
Great free kick, by the way, like he did in the Olympics final, unfortunately for us. But yeah, it was good because even without Lamine Yamal, for example, even when you have not French players, but players who are usually subs, even like a Marino, they still play so good. Their style is so good. The weather was terrible again. The rain, the pitch was heavy, and yet they still played. And Serbia was never good.
Serbia not good. They went down to 10 men. But also, what struck me was I think Spain are showing that this is a really versatile team. These are not pretty football conditions. They played narrower.
Yeah.
The pitch wasn't great, and they gutted it out.
Yeah. Argentina demolished Bolivia 6-0, and Lionel Messi had a pretty good game.
I'd say so. He just had a hat trick and 2 assists. He had a free kick. The one of his goals is that trademark that we have seen 2 million times, where he gets the ball from the right. You know what's coming. He's coming across the village, coming just outside the box, right? And he still gets a shot off and scores. You know what's coming every single time. It's like the old Garrincha move. I don't know. I have no idea how he does it. He kindly said that Lautaro deserves the Ballon d'Or.
Please
don't
behave.
make a face.
Leo, please behave.
I might suddenly start caring about the Ballon d'Or if Lautaro wins
good.
it. He's up to. Here's an interesting question, just to stoke up the crazies. He has 112 goals. He's a couple of years younger than Cristiano.
Yeah.
He's 21 away from Cristiano. He's 78 away from Christine Sinclair.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen.
Okay, again, you've decided Messi can't beat Christine Sinclair either.
Definitely not.
Can Messi finish with more goals than Cristiano? That is one to watch.
So 21, but then I don't know if Messi would play for as long as Cristiano.
You assume
fitness-wise.
no.
Already you see some of the injuries
Yes.
creeping out a bit more often, but...
And he won't get to play Bolivia all the time.
But
And I
now
say this
they've
with the
got-
greatest respect.
So that was his 10th hat-trick for Argentina in his career. Cristiano has 10 for Portugal as well. So even that race of who with the most international hat-tricks between the two is still going on. So pretty amazing.
Jamie Leveling scores the only goal on his debut as Germany beat Holland 1-0. Jules, Baumann, Stiller, Kleindienst, Leveling, and yet the Dutch managed just one shot on target, 3 overall.
They were a class apart. It was a really good game to watch because even again with a B Germany team, they just wiped the floor with the Dutch.
Leveling pick on the Dutch guy?
Well, he's always been, really. But Leveling, not supposed to be in the squad initially, but replaced Musiala, who was injured. Not supposed to start this game initially, but replaced Undav, who got injured too. And then on his debut, first ever game, to score great. I mean, he's doing great at Stuttgart. He's 23 years old. Him and Stiller are very much, in a way, potential future of this team too. And I think it's good from Nagelsmann to try them. Sorry, I thought you were going to come with something. Brazil also demolished like Argentina. Peru 4-0, Gab. We are tough on the rival. We've been tough, but to be fair, I think he deserved it. But 2 wins in this break now. So are we changing our mind a little bit?
Not really. I mean, the first 2 goals were penalties from Rafinha, one towards the end of the first half, one bit later on. Luis Enrique came off the bench and scored the 4th. Also, Andres Pereira. I'm glad he's getting some love. I think Andres Pereira has been one of the more overrated players for a long time. And I could tell you, Manchester United could do well with him back.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not a sparkling performance. I think right now you needed the 3 points. Obviously, some players out. I'm intrigued by Igor Jesus. I'm intrigued if this continues. And honestly, I like the fact that Dorival says, look, I need that kind of striker. I would rather go with this guy than shoehorn Rodrigo in there or another one of these little guys running around.
Absolutely.
Mexico beat a USA side without Pulisic, McKennie, and Flo Balogun. Jules, mitigating circumstances.
Yeah.
Were you expecting a little more from Portugal? Love affair didn't last long because they were terrible.
Yeah, they were not good. I mean, the first goal is a free kick from Raul Jimenez, but even Mexico were the better team, certainly, in this game overall. And maybe this game came a little bit too early for him. But we said against Panama, it's good to start with a win, and we saw some good things from his team. But we needed a better opponent to see, a bit more time for him to get everything across that he wants to. So, hey, that's part of the learning process for now. So Alex Ferguson will no longer serve as an ambassador for Manchester United, Gabby, come the end of the season. So at the end of the season, this is him over, and a lot of people are really upset. I don't know you, and you will tell us why, but a lot of people are.
Yeah, I'll just have this quote from Eric Cantona. It says, Sir Alex Ferguson should be able to do anything he wants at the club until the day he dies. Such a lack of respect. Totally scandalous. Sir Alex Ferguson will be my boss forever, and I throw them all in a big bag of poo. I don't know if he carries around large bags of feces with him to put people in, or if it's a French expression, put people in a...
Well, I don't think
or
so.
Cantona expression. Guys, Sir Alex Ferguson is 82 years old. He's a widower. He was making £2.16 million to be a club ambassador. Okay, they're cutting jobs. They're cutting real people with real jobs. Sir Alex Ferguson does not need another £2.16 million. Sir Alex Ferguson will be an ambassador for Manchester United, whether he gets paid for it or not, whether he has a title next to his name or not. He's still on the board as a consultant. That hasn't changed. I don't see, especially these lefty types like Cantona.
Patrice Evra also was not happy.
Another one. Guys, people have lost their jobs and their livelihood. People with mortgages because the club are making cuts, right? How can you justify paying somebody £2.16 million?
Maybe the communication was wrong then. Maybe they could have just announced in a different way.
They said mutual consent. I mean,
but
they could have said, hey, Sir Alex, why don't you make a video saying,
but
I'm stepping down to spend more time with my grandkids or whatever.
But he just as an ambassador, but in a free, they don't pay him anymore. But
okay, come on. You know a little bit from the inside about football clubs. Is there anybody who's making £2.16 million
as an ambassador?
As an ambassador for the club?
No.
But
there's nobody. Sir Alex, though. So
what?
He's Sir Alex Ferguson.
That's
he's the greatest British manager ever.
That's fine.
That club is him, and he's that club.
And he was worth it to the club when he was managing them, and he was handsomely paid for it. Nobody's going to take this away.
Yeah.
I just think this reaction is so pathetic from these people. Jules, you caught up with Paul Pogba this week. Tell us about it.
Oh, yeah. Yesterday, producer Freddie and I went to Paris to interview him. I hadn't seen him for a while, to be fair, so it was good to see him. And we had
Is he still substantially taller than you? He hasn't shrunk.
No, we had a massive hug. And I think even producer Freddie was a bit like, wow, yeah, he's much taller than you, but he was still there was so much love. And just to see him happy and smiling was important. I think.
Let's remind people he's served his ban and he's totally clear now.
So from January, he will be able to train again and go to a training ground again. And from March, he will be able to play competitive matches again. So,
this is in part because the court accepted his version of events where he says that he took the substance unwittingly. So he's still responsible. This is why you do not get a four-year ban. He got 18 months instead.
Yeah, exactly. And he said there were times where he didn't feel like a footballer anymore. And now again he can have that, and even just having an interview with us for ESPN just make him feel like a player again. And I think he was very happy. So I can't wait for him, whether it's at Juventus or not. I just can't wait to see him back on the pitch.
He looked like a little kid. I mean, I saw the interview he did with you, the interviews we did with others. I genuinely like the guy, and he seems so happy.
He's great. Pogba also said, Gab, that he's ready to cut his wages and return to Juventus, but that he hasn't heard anything from them, so he doesn't know what they want to do with him. Do you think that would be a good idea?
I mean, he's there. He's settled. He has a place there. I think he would have to cut his wages substantially, right? Juventus have a clear project going forward, but he's not that old, right?
No.
He still has a couple good seasons left. I think you have to chuck this over to Thiago Motta, and you have to say, Paul, when you say you cut your wages, how much? Because we're operating on a shoestring now after all the bazillions that the club have burned through when they signed a certain guy and made certain decisions a while back. We cannot break that at all. So if he wants a place to train, maybe play a few games for 6 months, see where we are at the end of the season, bit of shop window, that could be a solution. If he wants to earn anything like what he was on before, well, then that cannot be a solution. Bernd Reichart, the chief executive of the European Super League, the A22 people.
I've forgotten about them. Yeah.
He told German magazine Kicker that play will commence as regularly scheduled in September 2025.
Wow.
I bet you're excited, Jules.
Super excited. Who's in?
Well, he hasn't confirmed that yet. So I'm assuming Real Madrid and Barcelona, and they'll have no interest in the Champions League.
I mean, I would get excited once I will know the schedule, who's playing against who's going to reject the Champions League or the Europa League or the Conference League to play in this new tournament. Who's going to show this new tournament? Will I be able to watch it?
No,
I don't know.
I don't know. He went on. He said it's too expensive. They have an innovative streaming format
I'm
supported.
sure you
it's going to be free
haven't.
for everyone.
Oh.
Well, what's really funny is he mentioned about there's too much imbalance in the Champions League, and he mentions the Bayern Dinamo Zagreb, the 9-2, and what was the other big result on Tuesday. But then and he's like, there's no uncertainty. But then you look at Lille against Real Madrid, and you look at the other Bayern.
Villa Bayern?
Villa Bayern?
Yeah.
I'm like, maybe there is.
Yeah, maybe there is. Daniel Maldini made his debut as we expected, Gabi, for Italy, and it's now 3 generations of Maldinis for the Squadra Azzurra. Gab, there are other examples like the Forlans, like the Alonsos, Chicharitos, but it's still really cool. Amazing.
It is really cool. And by the way, all those people are like, it's nepotism, blah, he's not that good. I mean, Daniel Maldini is 23 years old. He started every game this season in Serie A. Guys, this is Italy. We're not the deepest squad in the world. He's nowhere near his grandfather and obviously not his dad.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he's undeserving of a cap. Just about everybody wins a cap at some point if you're a regular in Serie A. Almost everyone, right? And this is a good thing. A lot of people are off Twitter now. They don't like it, or X. It's toxic. This is wonderful. I tweeted it out. And I learned something. We got so many people with multi-generational examples. There's others, by the way. I'm not going to mention all of them. But the Feeneys, which I did not know about.
Johnson.
And Johnson. Yeah, but you know what's much cooler? 4 generations.
Wow.
I totally don't know this. Albert Gudmundsson plays for Fiorentina, by the way. Just cleared of rape charges himself, or sexual assault charges. Now, his dad is Gudmundur Benediktsson, known as Gummy Ben, who played for Iceland. His mom is Kristbjörg Ingadottir, who also played for Iceland.
Yeah.
Now, Kristbjörg's dad, so Albert Gudmundsson's grandpa, is Ingo Bjorn Albertsson, also played for Iceland. And
there's another one.
His great-grandfather,
What?
who is also
Surely
named
not.
Albert Gudmundsson, weirdly on his mom's side, not his side, which I find weird and creepy, but whatever. It's Iceland, not many names. They're not very imaginative.
Yeah, you take the name of the dads.
Yeah. Well, some people do, some people don't. But the original Albert Gudmundsson, I did not know this. I hold my hands up. You know who he played for?
No.
You should. Because he played for your dad's club, Racing Paris, right? That is the original version. He also played for 2 small clubs you might not have heard of called Milan and Arsenal.
So what
you familiar with him?
Did he play for Iceland too?
He also played for Iceland.
So it's
4
5.
generations.
Is it 4?
4 generations. That's pretty darn cool. Well done, Gudmundsson.
Isn't it 5 even?
No, because the mom and dad are the same generation. All right, Jules, this brings us to an end.
Wow,
You can see how excited I was about that.
Amazing.
But we're going to be back on Monday, and guess what? So will club football. Until then, love the game, love your neighbor, love yourself.